Yes, you guys are reading that title correctly, as there have been not one, but two pedo situations in the Clash Royale community in the past week. Now, to start off with the situation that kickstarted everything going on currently, we have Muhammad Light, a 3-time world champion, mind you. Hell, he is the season leader in 19 total seasonal wins. He is over double second place. This guy is like the LeBron James of Clash Royale. He ain't no fucking joke, and everyone who plays Clash seriously knows who this guy is. However, on June 13th, there'd be a document written about him called the Muhammad Light Files, with the writers being Matt2KK, Atro, and Nate. Now, this document is a pretty lengthy read, so let's break it down together here. The introduction is simple enough. It introduces who Muhammad Light is and that he's a 21-year-old Egyptian professional Clash Royale player, but then says that allegations of grooming and misconduct have been going around the Clash Royale scene apparently, yet a lot of them are dismissed or ignored based on obfuscating evidence and stuff like that. However, the three who wrote this decided to get together and finally go into the details surrounding him specifically, so let's get into them. First things first, the victim of the situation is being referred to as H, and when Muhammad was 17, he met H when she was 13 years old. They would become close friends, and some speculation started to arise after people noticed they'd be in calls together on Discord a lot, but nothing ever came from that other than just a little bit suspicious. They would say the friendship was relatively normal until 2025, however, as in April that year, Light started to send messages to H which she found really bad, such as telling her goodnight cutie one night, and then later that same day would say, "Even though travel takes ages, I still don't mind since you'd be there." At this time, H would have been 16 years old, and Muhammad would have been around 20 himself, so you can already see things are getting pretty weird. There's even this one picture somebody took of what I presume is H's point of view on their phone. Like, they actually took a picture of H's phone with the messages, and it doesn't look good because he says, "I swear I have no bad intentions towards you, I just speak the truth and like you a lot, so it is torture." She responds with the emoji, and then Muhammad Light responds with, "It was like if you let me flirt with you, then it temporarily relieves me a bit, even if I get ignored, and if you don't respond and we'd stop talking, then that's also good." So clearly, judging by those messages, he has something going on for this person. There was also talks of Muhammad flying H over for the Clash Royale League in Atlanta, though that never happened. They would then go on to say this, and this is what I think really started to get the ball rolling. H then reached out to her and Light's mutual friends for support on the matter, and what she discovered was deeply troubling. Rather than being honest about what was happening, Light had spent over a year actively constructing a false version of events to present his inner circle, one in which H was the one who had pursued him romantically, and he was the one who did not reciprocate. This was a deliberate inversion of the truth, and it held for as long as it did because H, out of respect for their friendship, never dared to contradict it. When confronted by friends about the messages he'd sent her, Light selectively hid the most incriminating ones, only revealing them under pressure. Even then, he left out key messages entirely, including one where he expressed that traveling to the US would be worth it specifically because H would be there. His friends, including those close to both him and H, had believed his version of events for a year before the truth came to light. It was also during this time period in the lead up to the Atlanta event that Light confessed his romantic feelings to H directly over private messages. She rejected him. And the next DM would be H talking to a mutual friend in which they're talking about the whole situation, and then the friend literally says, "Dude, fuck, I always thought it's the opposite. You flirting and him not giving traction. Oh, that's not what happened. That's crazy. The way he told everything never showed that was the case." So this is H telling a friend of theirs, "Yeah, Muhammad Light had been hitting on me," and the guy's like, "Wait a minute, he said that you were hitting on him." So they're not just writing a bunch of bullshit in this document. This is actual evidence of that point. Now, after the finals in Atlanta took place, they would stop talking to each other for a bit, but then they would reconcile in December 2025, about a month later, and things seemed to be going quiet again. Well, the news is already between friends, as H already told a bunch of friends during their initial fallout, and so after a controversy earlier in June, where Nate, one of the guys who helped write the doc, ended up getting into a little pissy match about win trading between another player in the scene named Heisenberg, well, the rumors started to go around that Light was a pedophile, and you kind of already get the whole point because then this document was made about 2 weeks after the fact. However, as people started to talk about it, Muhammad would find out that H talked about this to other people, and in some of their last messages together, he would tell her, "Don't do anything for me, I don't need it." She says, "I will be doing shit if necessary," and he replies with, "You already fucked things up leaking shit about me to bums. I don't need your damn help in anything, go there and leak more shit to retards." Fuck is wrong with you? Honestly, just disappointment after disappointment. So clearly, Muhammad Light knew that the jig was up because he found out that she told other people, and now there's other people after this whole situation with Nate. They were starting to say shit, and well, you know, the ball got rolling, blah blah blah. Now the situation here was actually broken down pretty well by this Google Doc, given what I've seen in the past. Muhammad Light, 17, met a 13-year-old named H, and they were just friends for a bit up until April 2025 when he started to hit on her despite her still being a minor and him still being over 4 years of age. Now, about a third of the document is dedicated to author's notes from two of the writers, the first one being Matt and the second one being Nate. In my opinion, they're not the most important things to break down, but if you do want to read it yourself, I suggest going to the Muhammad document itself and reading it out. Matt's comes out a lot more sad. He just can't really believe that this is his friend he found out who was talking to an underage girl back in November, and that he didn't really know how to deal with it up until June, when he really saw how he was treating her behind the scenes after this whole drama with Nate went down and after he started to really think about it. Nate's reads more like he wanted to do this as revenge, as this specific part really sticks out to me. At the end of the day, you chose to lash out at me, say all these vulgar things to me because of bad influence that I tried to call out and help you, and instead you try to downplay our friendship, calling me a fake motherfucker, never be friends again, saying that I'm jealous of you and only talk to you because you were a good player, a shit friend, and calling out my character / personality in general when you know I only wanted the best for you. So you can clearly tell that Nate was still feeling some type of way after their argument on Twitter together, and so that was clearly a factor in helping make this document to begin with. Now by this point in time, it's looking cooked. It's not the worst situation I've read, but it's still not looking good. While we know that they both met when they were minors at 17 and 13 apiece, and we know that nothing weird ever started until April 2025, by this point Muhammad should have known to not engage with their weird like this at all. He wasn't a dumb kid or a random up-and-comer in the Clash Royale League. He was already by this point one of, if not the best Clash Royale player ever, and he should have had the maturity to be like, you know what, I'm 20, 21 years old now, I should not be talking to this person like this, even though they are my friend, and even though we did meet years prior when we were both minors, it would be inappropriate for me to talk to her like this. But he didn't, and in turn it caused a little bit of chaos back in November 2025. But after this argument with Nate, the whole situation started to unravel, and well, you know, Nate and his friends made the document to expose them. Now the reaction to this document has been very divisive. As you can see, there are 657 comments on this. This is a lot of comments. You do not see this many comments that often. As a matter of fact, one of the top ones literally says, "Well, Muhammad scum, you yourself who kept completely quiet about predatory behavior for years, only releasing it when he insulted you over some bullshit nothing burger argument over win trading. You're fucking scum too, just like anybody who knew about this." This comment, it's just one comment, but it really does encapsulate the entire feeling behind this document. While everyone knows what Muhammad did is wrong and he's cooked, Nate knew about this situation and didn't say anything about it until Muhammad pissed him off. I mean, you can literally read in their argument, Nate says, "You really want to beef with me? You really don't think I know about the stuff you've done at Worlds last year and in the past? Keep going on and see what happens." He's literally threatening to come out with the information over a win trading argument on Twitter together. To add to that, people are saying how Nate would have been about 19 or 20 when he met H and how that's creepy as well. And while yeah, Nate shouldn't have made friends with someone who was so young like that, there's like also a level between like, are they friends or is it like more of a mentor type of relationship? Like, you know what I mean? Like, was H a good player herself and wanted to get better and so these people started to help her and keep up with her? Was it like, I'm being friends with them because they're young? Like, there's so many levels to it that's really hard to pinpoint. And then also at the end of the day, while what Nate did was purely just to get back at Muhammad, Nate didn't flirt with H. Muhammad was the one who flirted with H. So it seems like some people are just trying to get their epic goons and jabs in on Twitter by the looks of it. Now, I don't blame people for mentioning how Nate only did this just to get back at Muhammad, and clearly this situation is a lot messier than I think anybody could have expected. I know that Muhammad hasn't responded to any of this yet, and honestly, I don't know if or when he will, because this is a big situation. This guy, again, is like the LeBron of Clash Royale. Supercell's probably already aware of this, and all the bigger parties that like work with Muhammad and stuff, they're probably talking right now, figuring out what the best way to go about the situation would be. Is it to get back at Nate? Is it to admit but downplay? We don't know what's gonna happen, but this is their top guy, and he is currently in the hot seat. Now, one would assume this would be the end of the pedo problem in the Clash Royale scene, but no, because as this news was going around, there was another situation that popped up, I think a day? 2 days later, maybe? And this has to do with another Clash Royale player named SK555. Now, SK555 isn't the biggest guy ever, though he does have about 100k subs on YouTube, but he's not like the best in the world or blah blah blah. He's just good. Now, in the midst of this Muhammad Light stuff going about, people look back at an old Twitter post from January this year by somebody named Couch, in which they say that there are allegations going about that SK555 is also a Clash Royale controversy. They would say he was grooming this person named Pang based off some messages they had on Twitter publicly, which are a bit weird. You can see them yourself. She says, "Yes, I can't sleep," and he says, "Sleep Pangy." Skis, and then heart emoji and like the cute eyes thing. Like that's odd. That's very odd. He literally says, "Pangy, come home." Like, I can see why somebody would be weirded out about this, but this was not really anything at the time. Well, SK would get exposed by another Twitter user as they would show off screenshots between him and somebody named Ghost Cam Girl. In the first message on screen, you can see her saying she's 16, quote, "Being 16 stops me from like going wherever though." He says, "Your parents don't let you." She says, "But my birthday is so close, no." They would chat a bit more and she would go on to say, "And I post it, yes." Well, post it where? Like, send it to you, ooh. Oh yeah, I don't really know what else. What do you think? And then the most important part here, I could send you like very cute pictures, like in my bra. He says, okay, okay, 1 second. Oh, now it's like 2 a.m. for you, you said. So, this girl, who's 16, offered to send her bra pictures, and he decided to accept them. There's some more messages where they're kind of like flirting a bit between each other. The most important part here is like where she's saying, "Yes, please. I could maybe." Fucking goblins from Clash Royale. "Will you actually? I mean, I don't know how much it would be, but maybe I could for you. What would I get though? Anything you want." And then this next set of messages, we presume is a picture of the girl in the bra or some sort of lewd image that she sent that he accepted after she offered. Now, we know she's 16, but how old was SK when he did this? Well, according to SK's Twitter account, he was born on February 28th, 2021, but we still don't have a date for these messages. Thankfully, there's a screen recording of, I assume, the girl going through her phone and her images, and you can see at one point it says that these screenshots were taken on August 16th, 2024, meaning that SK was 23 when this girl was like, "Hey, I'll send you pictures in my bra," and instead of being the adult who should know better to say no, he instead took her up on her offer. While with the Muhammad Light situation, while there's a bit of leeway and it could have just been, you know, a messed up situation where it's like some sort of mentorship thing gone wrong, this is 100% cooked, bro. I know I say cooked a lot, but this is like cooked. Bro is a fully grown 23-year-old, almost 24, accepting bra pics from a 16-year-old. There's some more going on with this whole situation, such as some group chat messages between somebody in the clan named Nora, where she would say, "When I was 15 to 16, I was talking to SK555 and he said he'd fly me out, but I got scared so I blocked him after like a year of talking." The part that kind of susses me out is when she says after a year of talking. If you were scared, why didn't you just block him then? Why'd you continue to talk to him for a year? I don't know. That seems pretty odd to me. There's probably more to that story. Maybe she's remembering it wrong or she's overblowing it for attention. I don't know, but there's just something not really correct there, just based off the way she wrote it. But this doesn't really matter that much because the first one is far worse with far more evidence, but I figured to mention this before we move on. Now, once these allegations started going about, it was already going bad for SK. In these screenshots, he's a Casito guy. Some of his friends and people in his community would find out about this going around and be like, "Yo, what's up?" And he would say, "I promise when I'm a bit more oriented, I will ASAP. But this is what the situation is at right now. I'm genuinely not straight right now. I understand, man, but the more you wait, the worse it gets, and it usually gets worse fast. You have to give them something, literally anything. I'll text here as soon as I can. I'm physically crumbling." In a longer set of messages, it's kind of more of the same, but he would say, "I haven't slept all night because of the previous harassment and it's 8:38 a.m. So my head is genuinely fucked. If you can't find it right now, you at least have to talk about it with the people. I'll show you guys the context I'm talking about after I sleep a bit, but I will." So he's saying, "I haven't been able to sleep, but I got more context to all this to hopefully clear my name or whatever." Now, as people were waiting for him to make a proper response, there was another Twitter person named Invictus who would say that the girl tried to come out about this 2 years ago, but no one just believed her and it was just swept under the rug. There's some audio messages of people talking about it as well, and at one point you can actually see someone bring up Ghost Cam Girl's username. This was something that people knew about for at least 2 years within the community or within a couple people. It just never got out because back then no one ran with the story, or they shut it down when Ghost Cam Girl tried coming out with it.
I don't think so. I just know they sent pictures. I don't know if he sent any pictures, but she sent pictures to him, you know, with her face and her body as well.
Yeah, this is bad. True. So you're saying that she started DMing him?
I believe so.
Okay.
She'll text me right now if it's not true. If it was the other way around, but from what I know of, yeah.
To add to the notion that people knew about this, but the story just wasn't known well until now, there's a February 2025 Twitter post where someone says, "Why is SK555 alt requesting to join my clan?" And the username is I Heart Miners. So people have been making jokes about this behind the scenes at the very least for a while, and again, it took this Muhammad Light situation for people to finally take this whole SK555 shit seriously. Better late than never, I suppose, but at least now all people had to do was wait for SK's response. Now on June 18th, that response had come out, and it is literally what you see on screen right now. Not even a full page responding to the allegations. I can literally read this whole thing out for you guys and extend the runtime and not waste y'all's time. That's how little he gave a fuck about responding, but let's get into it. He would say, "Context is important, and I would like to clarify that I have never had any interactions to pursue any such relationships, nor did I seek out or ask for anything explicit. Nonetheless, I realize that I should have never accommodated this interaction under any circumstances." And he attaches a screenshot as his example of context being misconstrued, where he's saying, "I just don't know what the ethics and all, you know, with the age and everything. Well, you think about it, age is just a number, have you heard of this? Regardless of any situation, I am fully aware that I was completely in the wrong for entertaining anything and not shutting it down when the responsibility fell on me. It has taken some time for me to understand the deluge of all that is being said and think about everything that has happened before making my response to these allegations, many of which have been taken out of context or even fabricated. To the community that has always supported and looked up to me, I am truly sorry. I am taking time to grow and reflect on myself, and I will continue to work to hold myself to much higher standards moving forward." So he is saying that the screenshots are taken out of context, people are misconstruing them, or some are even fabricated. Now, he doesn't prove that they're faked or whatever, but I wasn't really expecting that. But the most interesting part to me is him saying at the end of the first paragraph, "Nor did I seek out or ask for anything explicit." Now, if you want to get into the semantics about it, he technically didn't ask for her to send bra pics. She was the one who offered. He did seek it out because he accepted her offer for the bra pics. He's just blatantly lying to people in this fucking document for some reason. The evidence is clear. It's not hard to put together, and the fact that he confirms the messages are real based on the way his response is, I don't know what the dude is doing. Did he really think that him lying about this would get him out of it? I'm astounded that he just blatantly lied about something so easy to prove wrong. Now, the girl is being weird about it. She is the one who is pushing herself onto him, but again, he's 23, she was 16. He should know better to not entertain this kind of interaction and to just block the girl straight up. Now, the community reaction to this is much more simple. Everyone's kind of just trashing on a guy for trying to lie his way out of it and be like, "Oh, well, you know, she said age is just a number, so she's weird," which okay, yeah, she's being weird about it, but again, you're the adult, she's the teenager. It's simple. I mean, this comment right here sums it up pretty well. Why did he include a screenshot of the minor saying age is just a number, as if that takes away the fact he's a grown adult? He's trying to push the "it was reciprocated / she pushed it onto me" agenda rather than admitting that he's fully responsible for his predatory behavior. Yikes. That is 100% true, and there ain't any better way to put it. So it's looking like SK555 won't be hitting 100k subs on YouTube anytime soon. So close to your goal, man. Now, in the midst of both of these stories getting traction, someone on Twitter posted a clip of Clash Royale YouTuber Ian77, a guy with 500,000 subscribers, this guy is the real deal, in which he says that he's noticed that pros and content creators act weird to minors in private Discord servers. It's really interesting to watch, so here we go.
I also wanted to talk about something else. It's not only Muhammad Light that was dealing with this 13-year-old girl. It was also a bunch of other Clash Royale YouTubers and Clash Royale pros. I don't know why, but they have this whole Discordian empire. It's all these Discord guys that are on Discord calling 10 hours a day. And yeah, that underage girl, she was like in all of those servers, calling with all these Clash Royale pros and YouTubers and stuff. And I don't know why the heck all these Clash Royale pros and YouTubers are like paying her any attention or like trying to be close with her or even like flirty and stuff like that. It seems so weird to me. And in these Clash Royale servers with these pros and YouTubers, guys, that girl's not the only underage girl, man. Yeah, like I know there's other girls in those servers and a lot of them are under 18. Like a lot of them are maybe like 15, 16, 17, and I'm pretty sure they get like flirted with and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just like so confused. Like why do they like want to talk to these underage girls? Like what is the literal reason for that? Like there's literally no reason at all for them to be talking to these people. Like a lot of these guys, they're pretty popular, or like they're pros, or like they're not even like bad looking guys, so like they could easily get other women. So why would you be talking to like a 15-year-old? Yeah, like I literally don't even know what to say about it, guys. Like there's so many of these pros and stuff that are acting like flirty. Like I bet this girl that, you know, Mohammed Light's getting a lot of flack for talking to, I bet like a ton of other YouTubers and pros have also spoken to her in similar ways.
Now the clip would start to get some traction, and so he would respond to it saying, "I don't have any specific allegation for the people involved in this stuff, but it's so weird how these call servers have a bunch of underage girls who at the very least get flirted by with older guys. Or much worse. If someone has info, let me know. I'll make a video on this if I have evidence." So this begs the bigger question: what the hell is going on in the Clash Royale scene? As we've seen today, there are two big stories that we just went through. The biggest player ever and another guy who is at least known in the community, both having their own allegations with their own set of evidence to them. Then you have Ian, a huge content creator in the scene, saying that he sees these issues where older men will flirt with underage girls in Discord servers, and no one seems to really be doing anything about it in these communities. Now, there can be so many reasons behind this. It could be a cultural thing, you know, I don't know the cultural demographics of Clash Royale, but I know the game is worldwide popular, so people from cultures who, I don't know, the age of consent might be 12 or 14 in their countries might not see it as an issue compared to the people in America where 18 and older is like the cap, and anything below that you're seen as a creep. Could be something like that. We don't know. Like there's so many factors that could go on here, and only the people within the Clash Royale scene who know the people and know how it reacts are really going to be the ones to piece it together for other people to see better. The point is though, there does seem to be a problem going on in the Clash Royale scene, and it took the Mohammed Light allegations coming to light for a lot of outsiders such as myself who look into situations like these for it to come onto their radar and be like, wait a minute, there is something like actually wrong going on here. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with Mohammed Light. Again, there's no response yet. I'm not expecting one, to be honest. I'm expecting them to kind of just ignore it and move on, because it seems that the SK555 stuff took most of the attention because his was far, far worse than Mohammed's. Perhaps there are people who have seen Ian's clip who are reaching out to him right now, giving him evidence on all the creeps going on. Personally, I assume that's happening right now. Whether he'll make a video about it, I don't know. But it's looking pretty suspect right now. I'm not gonna bet on anything else coming out about all this, but if there is some substantial stuff, I'll probably cover it, because I am getting a little bit interested in this whole vibe going on with the Clash Royale scene right now. And if there is stuff that comes out and I don't seem to come across it anytime online, make sure to give me that information and any other video ideas at my email down below in the description and on screen right now for any video ideas you guys might think are worth looking into. But yeah, we'll see what comes of this, if anything comes of this at all.